Hello and welcome back. Oh, you will know from Wednesday we've been having such unbelievably, unseasonably hot weather. Oh, the Cinderella roses are looking gorgeous. So I've just popped outside to check on the garden and see how everything is coping in this heat. Wow, that's very pretty, isn't it? Big bouquet of white flowers. I think I mentioned in Wednesday's video that the Cinderella and the Sweet Laguna, we had the buds, but they have opened up now, and the Sweet Laguna is so ruffly. Like, look at that, and the smell. It has got the strongest rose, most beautiful, delicate rose fragrance, but is so strong. Like, just even like where I'm standing now, not even being like not having my face close to it, I can smell it. It is gorgeous. So yes, the garden is really feeling the heat at the moment. It's just really unseasonal. We've been having storm after storm after storm with the humidity. So the forecast is meant to be that the weather will kind of return to normal by next week. I think and we'll hopefully have a little bit of nicer weather just before Christmas, but they are forecasting rain on Christmas Day. So we'll wait to see what happens there. But the other thing that I wanted to show you, because I remembered I failed to show it to you on Wednesday, but as I mentioned, we've been having a lot of storms, and I've been very, very fortunate that I've not sustained a lot of damage here. I know we had a storm last Monday, and as of today, which is Friday, people are still without power. Like, it's almost been a week and there's no power. Temperatures, we're getting sort of, I think today was 35 degrees Celsius, is very, very warm. And yeah, people just do not have power. I do have power, thank goodness. But the only sort of bit of damage that I sustained, I'll walk around and I'll show it to you. And it's the reason why we went to the garden centre and purchased the trellis that we purchased. Oh. Look at these, look at the yellow and this little apricot one opening. Even in this hot weather, so much is just doing really well. I'm very, very pleased with how the garden's going. I definitely need to tie up my cucumbers. But otherwise, everything is looking okay. But I'm going to walk around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, this is what I wanted to show you here. So normally this here is kind of like this one here, and it goes up the wall, but as you can see with the wind we had, it just snapped off. It was gale force wind, like absolute gale force wind, and it just, yeah, snapped them off right, because it was quite top heavy, because the vine is quite heavy. It's all concentrated at the top. And just with those gale force winds, it just broke it all off down the bottom. And so it's just lying there very limply and very sadly. But that's what I purchased that metal trellis for at the garden centre. And I think that that is going to be really nice in this pot. It thins out at the top, similar to the trellises that we had on the front patio for that project for the jasmine. So I've got the same sort of one just for in here. And I think that that will look really nice. I just need to have the time to kind of set it up, but I just wanted to really quickly show you that. And then the other thing that I thought we would do together is I received a delivery, and I'm very, very excited about it. I've sort of been waiting to share it with you. So let's pop inside now and let's do that. And then I think we might just hang out for the next couple of days. I've got some errands to run, and I know Mum has indicated that she is keen to go out for lunch, so we might do that. And yeah, it should just be a really, really lovely time. I hope you will join me for it, and I hope you are enjoying my content. Let's head inside now. Well, this is the parcel that has arrived. Actually arrived a couple of days ago, but I have held off trying to open it up because I wanted to open it up with you. I'm so excited. You might be able to kind of guess what it is, or you might actually be able to see what it is on the packaging here. I'm not sure. But we're going to get into this now. I just cannot contain myself any further. So I'm going to bring the camera a little bit closer, I think, and we will kind of position you somewhere where you can kind of see once again. I think it's going to be very difficult to get into, to be honest. It's actually 2 boxes that they have taped together. So I suspect it could be quite a challenge to get into it, but let's get stuck in. Alright, so I hope that you can see there. I've sort of just positioned you in a place where I'm hoping you've got a good visual. So, if you've been subscribed for a little while, you probably will remember me saying that I was never going to buy one of these ever again, but here we are. So, the reason for this, they're lamps, basically. They're bedside table lamps, and the ones that I currently have, I've had for quite a while, and I have really liked them, but they're pretty much no longer electrically safe. So I definitely needed to get something new, and I'd spent heaps and heaps of time looking, and there was just nothing that really kind of appealed to me and that would kind of go with like the theme of the room and kind of the theme of the whole house and that. So, but then I saw that they had a big sale on Joanne Tiffany, and you know how much I love my Tiffany-style lamps, and I thought, oh, just have a little look and see what they have. And lo and behold, they had some really gorgeous pieces. And I'm going to say I was a little bit, I undenied about these lamps. They're identical lamps. I undenied about them for quite a while. I just wasn't sure about the color, and it's always so hard to buy things online to kind of get a really good feel for the, oh wow, to get a good feel for the color. So sorry, this is the first time I'm seeing it as well in person. Oh wow, hopefully you are seeing that. So oh, that's actually really pretty. I was very, very worried about what this, like, it's almost like there's ambers and purples and blues in that, and that will go really lovely in my room. I've got a lot of sort of like linen colors, which this will go lovely with, and lots of grays and those sort of colors. So I think that this is going to be absolutely gorgeous. And on the Joanne Tiffany website, they have some truly stunning pieces on there, because it's pretty much art. I mean, I think that these lamps are a piece of art, but these lamps are also super practical for me. I do a lot of reading at night before I go to bed, so I actually did need lamps that were going to light up. So I didn't want something that was completely colored all the way around. You'll know throughout the house I've got sort of like my big beautiful blue tulip lamp, and the entire lampshade is like blues and greens and purples and that. But I wanted something with a bit more of the white in it, so that the light came through really nicely, just for reading purposes, that's all. So that is the absolute art piece of a lampshade. Wow, that is so beautiful. Hopefully you can kind of see, And so obviously it's unlit at the moment, and so it's just got those really pretty little sort of muted tones. And then when you light them up, you get a completely sort of different dimension. So I'm just gonna pop that carefully down, because the piece de resistance of this, that's its little finial, the piece de resistance of this was the base. So the actual lamp, like sort of stand or base. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? And it's got like the vines here and then all the little leaves. I just thought, I mean, obviously you know how much I love my garden, my cottage garden, and we have a lot of, you know, I've got so much greenery in the house, and I just thought that this was so beautiful, and like kind of that almost sort of bronzy sort of gold trim on the outside. Oh wow, that is absolutely, oh, I'm over the moon. Okay, let me just assemble this so that you can sort of see the full effect. They are very, very easy to assemble. So that is it there. And then the shade sits on like so. And there you go. There is it, completely assembled. I obviously need to get a light globe for it, which I will do, but look at that. Oh, it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm so happy. I was a little bit, I'm be honest, I was a little bit nervous. I kind of wasn't sure about the lamp shade, but I loved the base so much. Wow. All right. I'm gonna have a little hunch around and see if I've got any globes, and I'm going to unbox the other one. So the other one is identical to this one, so I won't show you unboxing that one because you've seen this one, and then I will show you them in situ on my bedside tables once they're all lit up. Oh, still so happy with how this Christmas tree is looking in my sitting room. I've just popped in here now. I'm gonna get ready, get changed into something nice and cool, and then, as I said, I've got a few errands to run, and then Mum and I are going to go to the sort of local-ish pub here for a delicious lunch. Should be in the air conditioning. As I said, oh, it is so warm today. Even this late in the afternoon, it is warm, and I will show you the lamps once I've set them up a little bit later on this evening. I've got all their Christmas decorations up. So I have run my errands. I'm just going to get I'm going to get Mum a little sweet treat and something for myself. I'll give it to her at the pub. And then, yeah, we're going to head to the pub for some delicious lunch. I'm absolutely starving. So, little treats secured. Got a little chocolate for myself and the fruit and mince pies for Mum. I am home from an absolutely delicious lunch. So delicious, in fact, that I forgot to film any of it. I'm very sorry for that. We were just having such a great sort of catch up and a bit of a chat and that I just, yeah, our food arrived and we ate it and I didn't film any of it, which was really lovely. I just had a burger and Mum had a mushroom risotto. It's always really lovely food there. And I'm now home and I am all cozied up in the air conditioning, And I've just made myself a cup of green tea, and I've got my little chocolate there. And I'm just gonna kind of get all settled in and probably watch a movie, I think, this afternoon. Maybe one of the new Christmas movies that are out, to kind of like get me into the spirit of it all. My goodness, how pretty is this view? So this is the view I get from my sitting room when I'm just sitting on the couch sort of watching TV, and in the golden hour light it is just spectacular. Wow. Oh, feeling so lucky. Gosh, this little corner is looking really pretty, isn't it? With all the white and the pink. That's looking really lovely. Oh, I like that combination, the white and sort of the pale pinks. Well, it has been a couple of days since I spoke to you. I'm pretty sure I left you, Mum and I had sort of gone out and we had had lunch, and I'd come home and I was sort of having afternoon tea and that. I'm pretty sure that is where I left you. That was a couple of days ago now. We have had a number of storms since then. And today's a bit of a cloudy one, but still a fairly decent temperature. Not as hot as what it has been. But I'm just popping outside with you very quickly. Oh my goodness. Look at the cucumber going up there. Goodness me. Ooh, I've got lots of flowers, hopefully. I'm just hunting to see if I've got cucumbers in there. Maybe not yet. Flowers, but no cucumbers. I will say it is with great sadness that I tell you this really gorgeous tree here may be getting taken out. I think it was not the best planting, unfortunately. The tree was actually originally sort of up over here, like back over here where the water feature is, and it was dying and doing really, really poorly. So it got relocated to this position here behind the kitchen garden beds, and I don't know if you can make it out, but you can see like that's the end of the kitchen garden bed and the fence is right there. And so it was a little itty bitty tree originally when it was moved, and there wasn't a lot of hope that it would make it, but proven wrong, and she's looking absolutely spectacular. But because she is looking so fabulous, she is actually really, really wide, and she's pushing on the fence. And so I'm a little bit nervous about potential damage. I am also a little bit nervous about how tall. If I show you over here, like you can see it's really like smushed on the fence, and if I go up a little bit, look how much it's going over. I don't think it's very happy there. The little gap, it was just much too small for it, unfortunately. But who knew it would do that well? So, yeah, it's making me very sad, but I don't think there's any way to save the little tree. Not little tree. She's getting quite big. I don't think there's any way to save it. I think it's just going to have to come out. I do not want it to push over that fence, and particularly with the storms we've been having. As she gets taller, she's kind of out here. Sometimes these conifers can get, 6 to 10 meters tall. And because it's like a pointed, almost Christmas tree kind of conifer, topping it off, I think would just look a little bit weird. I don't know. I'm going to have to get my garden guy who comes and helps me with bigger projects. I'm going to have a bit of a chat with him next week when he's here and just sort of see what he thinks. I am, concerned about the fence, and I'm just concerned that if we're getting those gale force winds, I really don't want it to fall in any direction because it will cause damage no matter where it falls. So anyway, that is very sad, but that may be happening. I'll give you an update once I know more. But what I've come out here for is I wanted to have a very quick harvest of the strawberries. I do want to say, and I have already said this, but this is the best I have ever had strawberries. They have just been doing so well. I have been putting in my effort, like I said I would, in fertilizing and making sure I'm staying on top of the fertilizing. So I have brought out some scissors here, and I'm just going to harvest just a few of, like, hopefully, like some of these that are hanging. There's a few here that are ripe, and what I've been doing is just harvesting them, you know, sort of washing them and then keeping them in a little glass kind of container in the fridge, and then I've been having them on a Sunday morning with my pancakes, which has been really lovely. And so I just want to harvest a few of those, but everything is looking gorgeous. And then once I've harvested those and we've popped them inside, we are actually going to be heading out and about. So I'm going to do this quickly. We're going to go in, I'm going to get changed, and then we are going to be heading out. I've got a few errands that I need to run. I don't know if I'll share that with you. I don't know how exciting it will be. It could be exciting and I may share it with you. I'm just not sure. But then we are going to the garden centre. I've just got to pick up a few other little bits. I think this is going to be coming out. They did start to sprout back, but they're not doing well at all. And as you know, this really blocks my view from my sitting room. So I think it's going to come out, this one and the sort of companion to it down the other end. And I have got a few plants already here, and I just want to pick up a few more to kind of fill in this space with a lot more like low profile plants. So plants maybe like 20 to 30 centimeters tall, just so we don't have that height. These get almost, 60 to a meter tall, and that's just quite blocking of the view, which I don't love. So my garden gentleman, when he comes to have a look at that tree, he's going to come and take these out, and then we are going to be planting up in this area. So that is going to be gorgeous, and I will share that with you. I don't know. It is very, very close to Christmas. He's just kind of squeezing me in, and then of course we have Christmas. And I'm hosting for Christmas. So I may actually not get to the planting until in the new year. And if that's the case, it may actually be one of the first videos back in the new year. So I do hope you will subscribe and join me for that. Oh, I've got some deadheading to do over here, but otherwise everything in Rose Corner is looking gorgeous. Yes, I do hope you will join me in the new year, and I think we'll get that little area I just showed you all planted up. And this area here, this is the other one, and we'll pull that out. It's way too close to the pathway here, and we constantly had to prune it back. So I think something a little bit smaller and a little bit easier to prune back will be better. Anyway, so we'll definitely probably do that, but as I said, it'll probably be the new year that I'll get to that. I cannot believe how close we are to Christmas. Oh, I hope you guys are all having the most incredible December. I hope you are going to get some downtime, friends, family, even just yourself, being able to have a couple of days where you can kind of just chill and, relax a little bit and, enjoy that time. And then it will be 2026. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I've started to waffle on here. So I'm going to go and I'm going to harvest these strawberries. We're going to go in, let's get changed, and let's head off. And yeah, head to the garden centre, run some errands, and it should be a really, really lovely day. I've just come down into the orchard because I'm just going to check if there's any blueberries. How gorgeous. Other cut flowers coming up. I will definitely have to get out here and do a bouquet. I've actually been really pleased with how this project has gone. I definitely will do it again, and I've learned a lot. So I think there's just certain different plants I would probably pick. But wow, look at that. She's incredible. All right, I'm just gonna have a little look and let's see if there's any blueberries to add to my little loot here. Look at the raspberry. Ooh. I'm gonna need to get some thick gloves on and start tying this up, I think. I don't want it to get unmanageable, but it is looking very healthy. So I'm hoping in a couple of months we're gonna be harvesting quite an abundance of raspberries. Oh my goodness. I will just say too, these strawberries I can smell them. They smell absolutely incredible. Right, we've got a few still to come, but I can't see that there are any blueberries ready to go. All right, oh look, the new navel orange is flowering. Aww. Yes, anyway, let's head back in. I'm gonna get changed and let's head out. So I have arrived at the garden centre just to pick up a few little sort of last minute bits and pieces. These are those gorgeous butterfly bushes that I've got throughout the garden. They come in the white and the pink. They're very pretty. They grow so quickly too. Got all their hydrangeas. Wow, look at these dahlia. Isn't that just incredible, the colours? Gosh. So these are what I'm here for. The pink, the white and the purple. So I might pick up a few of these just for one of the corners. And so this is the other thing that I came here for. One of these really large grip and grow trellises. So I'm going to pick up one of those and then we are done. So just a very quick trip to the garden centre today, and then I'm going to head over to the shopping centre. I've just got a few little bits and bobs to pick up there and then we will head home. So I have arrived at the shopping centre. I'm just picking up the last few little bits and pieces that I need for Christmas, but I've had a change of heart about the tree, and I'm just the main sort of Christmas tree, and I'm just wondering if I am able to pick up what I have in mind. I'm hoping that I can.
Good morning, how are you?
They have Santa photos here. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. It's Santa. Well, I have almost gotten everything that I needed today. I did pick up those white birds for the main Christmas tree. I'm not happy with the ribbon that's on there, so I think I'm going to take the ribbon off and I'm going to add these white birds. I was looking for really thin red bows, but I have been unsuccessful in that. And this was not on my list, but I got distracted by the painted edges here with the little dog. I've actually not read this book. Look how gorgeous these end pages are. Isn't that so beautiful? And it's just sort of like a bit of a Christmassy rom-com, which I think is going to be really nice for this time of year. So I picked that up as well. I've got my 2026 calendar. I picked up a few little gifty bits for my brother-in-laws. Hand cream and chocolates and beach towels and that sort of thing. So I'm doing well and I'm almost done. So I have left the shopping centre and I've just really quickly popped over to Provincial Furniture just to have a little look around. I'm looking for it's a long story, but I'm looking for a book holder, and I did see online that they had some online, but whether they have them in store remains to be seen, but they've always got so much gorgeous furniture here. Like, look at this. And like this. How nice. Is that not just absolutely beautiful? So much nice stuff. Thank you. Bye. I am now home from the shopping centre, and I've kind of just brought everything in and put most of the stuff away. I'm sort of just getting myself organised. Next Wednesday's video is actually going to be a really lovely video, very Christmassy and festive, which I'm so excited about. I do hope that you will subscribe and join me for that on Wednesday. But before I ended this video, I wanted to show you the lamps kind of in situ. So this is obviously not the final styling. I'd like to get some other little pieces on here. But to tell you that I am absolutely over the moon with these Tiffany-style lamps. They're so beautiful. I absolutely love like that sort of leaf detail. And I just think they really add a lot of character into this space. I've just got them sort of stacked on the books at the moment with my grandma's little music box. They are so beautiful. And just that detail with that stained glass. I'm very happy with that. So I'll turn them on and so obviously I've got two. So I've got one on the other bedside table as well, but I will turn it on so you can kind of see what it looks like lit up. So that is it, all lit up. They are so beautiful. And I tend to not use any of my overhead lights. So, you know, when it gets dark in the evening, it is actually still late afternoon at the moment, but when it gets dark in the evening, I'll sort of pop to the bedside these lamps on, you know, while I'm watching TV or kind of just, you know, puttering around. And they have the most beautiful soft glow. And obviously when they're lit up, it really sort of highlights that stained glass. And you're sort of getting like that sort of grey kind of purple with the blues, obviously little pops of greens and oranges from the little glass beads in them. I think they are so beautiful. Very happy with that. So these are the little tiny birds that we purchased. I purchased 2 boxes of those, and they're just a pure sort of white with a little bit of beading on them and the really gorgeous white tail feathers. And I think that that ties in the Christmas tree topper so beautifully. You can see it's like this white feathered topper that just sits so lovely on the top of the tree. But as I said, I bought 2 boxes of those. So I've just sort of scattered them. You can kind of see, sort of scattered them around the tree. And I just think that's looking really lovely. I would have liked the sort of thin white ribbon, but it was not to be. I guess this close to Christmas, they just, yeah, nobody's got anything left of their Christmas decorations. So I'll definitely have to get onto that early for next year's decorations. But yes, all right. I'm going to bid you farewell. I hope you have really enjoyed sort of just spending the last few days with me. We've done a little bit of everything, unboxings, running errands, going to the garden centre. It's been really lovely. And I will see you in Wednesday's video. As I said, it is going to be quite the fun kind of festive one on Wednesday. So I would love it if you subscribed and joined me for that. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.